For today's cup of coffee, this is a very odd news story, and it's odd in lots of different ways. This comes from Daily Mail and is by Josh Boswell, Chris Sharp, and Matt Ford, and was November the 28th of 2023. A secretive CIA office has been coordinating the retrieval of crashed UFOs around the world for decades, multiple sources told DailyMail.com. One source said that at least 9 apparent non-human craft have been recovered by the U.S. government, some wrecked from a crash and 2 completely intact. 3 sources briefed on those alleged top-secret operations told DailyMail.com that the Office of Global Access, the OGA, a wing of the Central Intelligence Agency's Science and Technology Directorate, has played a central role since 2003 in orchestrating the collection of what could be alien spacecraft. The 3 sources, who spoke on condition of anonymity to avoid reprisals, have all been briefed by individuals involved with those alleged UFO retrieval missions. Though the shocking claims sound like they come from a science fiction novel, they are part of a growing body of evidence suggesting the U.S. government could indeed be hiding advanced vehicles that were not made by humans. Former top intelligence officer David Grush told Congress as much in an explosive public hearing in July of 2023. The same month, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer sponsored an extraordinary bill to allow disclosure of recovered technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence, which has now passed in the Senate. Sources who spoke to DailyMail.com shed light on how the CIA has allegedly coordinated the secret recovery and storage of these alleged crashed or landed UFOs. One source briefed by UFO program insiders told DailyMail.com, quote, "There's at least 9 vehicles. There were different circumstances for different ones. It has to do with the physical condition they're in. If it crashes, there's a lot of damage done. Others, 2 of them, are completely intact," end quote. The source said the CIA has a system in place that can discern UFOs while they're still cloaked. And if the non-human craft land, crash, or are brought down to Earth, special military units are sent to try to salvage the wreckage. Another source with knowledge of the OGA's role said they were specialized in allowing the U.S. military to secretly access areas around the world where they would usually be denied. For example, behind enemy lines. The source stated, quote, "They're basically a facilitator for people to get in and out of countries. They're very clever at being able to get anywhere in the world they want to," end quote. Multiple sources briefed on the OGA's activities told DailyMail.com that most of its operations involve more conventional retrieval missions, such as stray nuclear weapons, downed satellites, or adversaries' technology. But they claimed some missions coordinated by the OGA have involved retrieval of UFOs. One source said, quote, "The task at hand is simply to get it into custody and protect the secrecy of it. The actual physical retrieval is by the military, but it's not kept under military control because they have to keep too many records, so they start moving it out fairly quickly into private hands," end quote. Documents published by the National Archives and Records Administration, the NARA, in December of 2016 showed that the OGA was one of 56 offices in the CIA, with its chief and deputy making up 2 of a total of 286 director-level officials in the spy agency. An unclassified organizational chart published by the CIA in October of 2015 lists the OGA among 9 offices in the Science and Technology wing of the agency. Late CIA expert Jeffrey Richardson wrote in a 2016 book on the agency that the OGA was established in 2003 and cited a CIA description that it integrates analysis, technology, and tradecraft to attack the most difficult targets and to provide worldwide collection capability, end quote. A 255-word biography of former OGA Deputy Director Doug Wolf, published by an aerospace conference in 2017, said that he, quote, helped start the Office of Global Access, end quote. Wolf's bio cryptically adds that he was, quote, responsible for leading and managing strategic unwarned access programs that deliver intelligence from the most challenging denied areas, and served as program manager with responsibility for the end-to-end system acquisition of an innovative new source and method for the IC, or the intelligence community, end quote. Two sources told DailyMail.com that the OGA coordinates with special operations forces such as SEAL teams and Delta Force under the Pentagon's Joint Special Operations Command, the JSOC, or nuclear weapons experts such as the Nuclear Emergency Support Team, the NEST or NEST, to collect the crashed or landed craft. But another source, who has briefed members of Congress on alleged crash retrievals, said that NEST had not been involved in any of these operations. A spokesperson for the agency also denied involvement. A spokesperson said, quote, NEST personnel encounter materials from unknown origins on a regular basis. In fact, one of NEST's missions is to help determine the origin of nuclear material indirected outside of regulatory control or used in a nuclear device. During its operations, NEST has never encountered any material related to UAP, end quote. In a written statement, a JSOC spokesperson told DailyMail.com, quote, we have nothing for you on this, end quote. A former SEAL team member told DailyMail.com that they had been on operations coordinated by the CIA to retrieve high-value stray enemy weapons, and that they knew of colleagues who had been on similar operations where they recovered technology that appeared highly advanced, though not necessarily out of this world. The ex-SEAL said, quote, absolutely that happens. Even ordnance or a weapon that we've never seen, we recover and bring it back, end quote. One source said that the Air Force Special Operations Command's 24th Special Tactics Squadron, based at Pope Field Army Air Base in North Carolina, has also been involved in securing areas for UFO crash retrievals. Sources said the CIA office then often hands the wreckage or material over to private aerospace contractors for analysis, where it is not subject to rigorous government audits and can be shielded with protections for trade secrets. One source, who has shared their information with Congress, told DailyMail.com, quote, the CIA is the portfolio manager or owner of the UAP, the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Crash Retrieval Operation. The Department of Energy, National Labs are materials analysis contractors whenever recovered radioisotopes are involved, but not always just radioisotope materials. The aerospace defense industry also contracts that superficially do not handle any recovered radioisotopes, but they handle the other non-radioactive material and intact craft, end quote. Multiple sources said that many of the people involved in these programs may not even realize that they are dealing with non-human craft due to the intense security and compartmentalization of information in such top-secret programs. In a recent interview with podcaster Joe Rogan, whistleblower David Grush gave an example of engineers in the Manhattan Project of the 1940s not realizing they were working on fuses for the atomic bomb that would eventually be dropped on Japan. Late Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid told The New Yorker in 2021 that top defense company Lockheed Martin was one of the private contractors holding potentially alien wreckage. He said, quote, I was told for decades that Lockheed had some of these retrieved materials, end quote. As Majority Leader, Reid was one of the Gang of Eight, a select group of top lawmakers given access to the country's most closely held secrets too sensitive to share widely in Congress. But even he was denied access to these alleged programs, he told the magazine. He stated, quote, I tried to get, as I recall, a classified approval by the Pentagon to have me go look at the stuff. They would not approve that. I don't know what all the numbers were, what kind of classification it was, but they would not give that to me, end quote. Reed helped set up a new UFO investigation office in the Pentagon in 2008 to probe the regular encounters U.S. military pilots and other armed forces members had with strange objects in the sky and sea. In June of 2023, former top intelligence officer Grush came forward with claims that while working for the Pentagon's UFO office, he discovered that the U.S. had a secret program trying to glean new technology from multiple non-human craft it had obtained dating as far back as the 1930s. The former National Reconnaissance Office staffer's claims were deemed urgent and credible by the Intelligence Community Inspector General, whom Grush says he gave documents evidencing his story and introduced to around 40 witnesses involved in the alleged reverse engineering UFO programs in July of 2021. Earlier this year, Senate Intelligence Committee ranking member Marco Rubio told TV news station News Nation that he had spoken to some of these first-hand program insiders who allegedly worked to glean new technology from potentially alien-captured craft. Rubio said in the June 26, 2023 interview, quote, there are people that have come forward to share information with our committee over the last couple of years. Some of these people still work in the government. A lot of them are very fearful for their jobs, fearful for their clearances, fearful for their career. Some of them are fearful of harm coming to them. Most of these people at some point or maybe even currently have held very high clearances and high positions within our government. Some of these claims are things that are beyond the realm of what any of us have ever dealt with. If it's even partially true, then somebody's broken the law. There's been some violations because these things have to be disclosed to Congress. Top lawmakers appear to be taking seriously the claims of UFOs hidden in secret bunkers. Senate Leader Schumer co-sponsored a bill to create a review board with presidential-level powers with the aim of uncovering and disclosing any non-human craft or even bodies held by the U.S. government. It requires all government agencies to turn over evidence of any recovered technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence to a panel of experts who can then choose to make the information public. The Senate has voted in favor of Schumer's bill. If passed in the House of Representatives, it will be added as an amendment to the annual military spending bill for 2024. Schumer said in a July 2023 press release announcing the amendment, quote, the American public has a right to learn about technologies of unknown origins, non-human intelligence, and unexplainable phenomena, end quote. Missouri Republican Congressman Eric Burleson, part of an informal caucus of lawmakers campaigning for greater transparency on UFOs, told DailyMail.com that the source's claims gave him and his colleagues a lead to follow in their investigations. He stated, quote, these are the kind of specific programs we've been trying to get the names of. It's been so difficult because we can't get that information with specifics from Grush or from the intelligence community, Inspector General. I can't confirm it's true, but it certainly gives us a trail to follow. I think that if it does exist, even if they give us no information beyond that, I think we owe it to the world to disclose that, end quote. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff to take in this news report. And as far as trying to pick it apart, bit by bit, and I'm going to let you all do that. We don't know whether this is a matter of Project Bluebeam. Again, this is something as far as worldwide deception. We don't know whether it is a matter of actual disclosure of non-human sources. We don't know whether it's transdimensional, which is what I believe that it is. But something, we're on the precipice of something. And the fact that this something keeps being brought to the public knowledge, that's important. And there's a lot of people that says it's a distraction technique. That may be so, but that doesn't mean that it does not need to be examined in its own right. Because we understand, even as far as this global access stuff, all this is one of the things that's being disclosed is the fact that this New World Order has been going on for a very long period of time. That you've got this handful of elites, if you want to call them the Illuminati or whoever or whatever it is. Do I believe they're in league with fallen angels? Absolutely. That's been going on since recorded history at this point, to try to take over the entire world. Yeah, that's, I think you would have to be hiding under a rock at this point to not understand that that is the objective and the agenda. So the fact that this office even exists, and it is the Office of Global Access, yeah, that's kind of crazy. And I will put a link to the CIA offices, and you can go down through the schematic, things that the American taxpayer has no understanding of. And that they keep, the greatest employer in America today is the government. That's horrifying. And they keep adding to. So, perilous times, folks. Perilous times. So, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, any of that good stuff, you can send me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. That's in the description box, as well as the links. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Share the little videos like this that's informing people. I actually did hear of other people on the day of the news release, talking about this subject. Because this is, for these high-level people to be discussing this is not just somebody on a podcast someplace pondering UFOs. This is getting a lot of traction, and that's something to pay attention to. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't know whether I said that yet or not, but go ahead and do that. Hit the little thumbs up thing, and mainly know that you're loved. Lord willing, we'll see you on the next go. Bye.